right about now.
Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ear. In fact, give me both of them. We've got a wonderful, wonderful show tonight out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, up there where it's a little bit chilly, I imagine. But anyhow, whether you're down the street, around the corner, across America, or somewhere around this great big world, thank you for tuning in to the George Espinal Show. And this is what we want you to do. We want you to come on in here. A lot of times people will sit back and view, which is wonderful. That's what it's all about. But we want you to come on in, leave your comments, ask your questions, participate, laugh with us when we laugh, cry with us when we cry. And we've done all that, Derrick. We've
Yeah,
laughed.
I believe.
Yeah, we've laughed on this show. We've cried on this show. I mean, real tears. Uh, we've had some real fantastic emotional type things take place on the show. We're not embarrassed by it. Uh, we're for real. What you see is what you get. You know what I mean? But
Right, right, right.
we want you to come in and be part of this. And when people put their comments up, Derrick, you'll be able to see them on the screen, just as I will, just as they will, and everybody else will. Ladies,
Okay.
gentlemen, boys, and girls, this is who we have tonight, Mr. Derrick Davis out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I asked him if this picture was taken like today. He said, no, this was taken last year. So, uh, but the reason I ask is because they get snow like this up there in Pennsylvania. And I was just wondering if it was recent or if that was before. Derrick, I want you to meet my friend Dude. Now, we are live
All right,
from the Funny Farm,
right.
and our Funny Farm is located in a place called Our World. We don't know where that is. We don't care where it is. We don't have no tangible address. We never have. We don't. As far as I know, we're not going to have one. We just live here, and
Right,
that
right.
makes us happy in our world. We are self sustained here on the Funny Farm, Derrick. We have our own police department, emergency medical people. We have traffic control. We have it all here on the Funny.
Right.
We have hired about 5 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, this guy by the name of Dude. This is what he does here at the Funny Farm. This is how he earns his keep. And so I want to introduce you, and to those that have never seen Dude, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Dude.
My story.
It's a short gig he's got going on, but we make him work.
Right,
Yeah. So hey Derrick, listen, if you ever need him for a show or anything, you just let me know. I'll hook you up with him.
right, right.
All right. All right. Let's get this party started. We have with us Derrick Davis, CEO, HLR. Tell us what HLR is, Derrick.
HLR, honesty, loyalty, respect, entertainment. It's a promotion company, marketing, music, management. I started that, within the last part of last year, early part of last year. Where I actually really got that LLC'd up and things of that nature. So it's definitely a music and entertainment and everything encompassing in that.
I like that HLR. Give it
Yes.
to me again. What's it stand for?
Honesty,
Hmm.
loyalty, and respect. HLR, honesty, loyalty, respect.
Where them three go together. Yep.
Yeah, those like three key principles to have in life and in business and everything else. And along the way in my journey and to get into where I'm at now to be talking to you, those were like very key and serious things that help me get to where I'm at right now and continue to grow. So, and it's important to me.
If people,
I've seen the opposite side of that too, though.
yeah, yeah, if people stand on those three pillars right there, HLR,
Right,
they'll be all right.
right.
And we'll put this down across the bottom. We'll let this float across here for a while. That is the phone number that you can call Derrick, and you'll see more about what he's doing, where he's doing it at, when he's doing it, and all those good things.
Yeah, you running my main number on the screen. So somebody, right? I mean, the whole audience right there. That's me directly. If going along within this interview, it makes sense to use it. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. So, Derrick, tell me, where did you come from and all those good things?
Well, originally I'm from Philadelphia, so I'm in Pittsburgh now, but originally I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up at woman. I was born in Women's Medical down Abbotsford Homes. So my mom and dad originally from North Philadelphia, and then once I was born, they moved up uptown West Oak Lane, where I was raised, and graduated. Went to the OIC opportunities in. Which was culinary school, and then from there, went to another spot in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and then from there back in Philly, and then from there back to to Pittsburgh. So that's just a quick synopsis of the story, just to give you where I come from and how I got to where I'm at right now.
When you was a young man, did you have any idea that someday you would be doing what you're doing today?
Honestly, no. I didn't. I didn't. I mean, especially with starting my own entertainment company or promotion or marketing. I actually think when I was younger, I used to tell my mom that I was going to build her a house. So I think I was more leaning towards wanting to do something like carpentry and things of that nature. I was real adamant, Mom, I'm gonna build your house and build your house. And then as I was growing up, just being involved in different things, getting here now. Sure did.
Isn't it amazing? There's our lovely young Cassandra from Arkansas saying, "Good evening, guys."
Hello. How you doing?
Isn't it amazing, Derrick? When we were young fellows, we didn't really. Some people did. I was never one of them. Isn't it amazing when you were young, and then the steps, as you took steps, getting older, and went down different paths of how one thing led to another that led to another. I find that absolutely amazing. How about you?
Definitely amazing how one thing can lead to another for sure. Like I was saying, when I was younger, I actually used to play football for King High School, so I had so many different things that a young guy from the inner city actually thought was going to happen, or dreamed of happening, or thinking, well, maybe this could happen. But especially coming from Philly and in the city, and any major city where anybody can relate, depending on how you were brought up. It's just so many different things going on, and one of the main things is just trying to stay alive in certain situations. Coming from free out of jail, all those type of things. Because those were things growing up that I had to address without avoiding myself. So definitely to be here, kind of, and how I got here is an amazing thing to me for sure.
Sometimes we have, excuse me, sometimes we have to look back to realize how we got here, much less move off into the future. You said just to survive. People, and I've said this I don't know how many times. Your honesty, loyalty, and respect. Where did that come from? How long ago? How long have you been carrying this around in your heart?
I mean, that's been all my life, you know. And then there's been times within my life that probably I may have not been those things. You know what I'm saying? So you think about those mistakes as well that you made in your life, and that's just, you know, something as simple as going to work and being on time, you know, every single day. So that's kind of how that started, and more so with that, I want to say, because June 4th will be like my 10th year anniversary of being involved in what I'm doing. And like I said, the company is fairly new. But for me, as long as I can remember, those things have been key to me: the honesty, loyalty, respect. But I think more so within about 3 or 4 years ago, and probably I'm not even gonna lie to you, probably was before that, because the guys who helped me get started in what I was doing, you know, they had their brand that they were using in their name. And so in the process of, you know, helping them and them helping me, I had to try to find my own. And within trying to find my own, that's how I, you know, kind of brought out to the forefront honesty, loyalty, and respect, because I was doing so much with working with different club owners or different artists or just different people. You know, I mean, I went to culinary school in Pittsburgh too. So that, like I said, culinary brought me here. I played football. So it was so many different things that I was doing. And, you know, when you're doing so many things and trying to move your way into getting somewhere, you work with people that have done you wrong. And I always looked at it and I said, well, you know, like, man, if this person would have been honest, if this person would have showed loyalty, if this person would have had some respect, then things would have, you know, and that's just kind of how I always looked at it. So for a long, long time, and then, like I said, just when I was trying to find my own brand of significance, that's when, you know, that's when it came about.
We were talking before we went on the air. There's an old song. Uh, Everybody needs somebody sometime.
Yeah.
How true that is. No man is an island, someone once wrote.
Unless you Darrell Revis or Deion Sanders, though, you know, you then we're gonna call you an island in that case. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? For sure.
yeah, they're one of a kind. They're one of a kind.
Right.
So, as a young man, you played football, school, you went to culinary school, and wow, you met a lot of people doing all those things. Some good, some not so good, right?
Right.
When was the first time that you got a little touch or a little dab of the entertainment business?
All right. Well, to tell you that story, I guess back in like 2010, I had some friends that I went to high school with, right? And this kind of like not even necessarily entertainment, but just kind of where the seed was planted for me. Excuse me. I went to school with some guys when I was younger in Philly at King High School. And I think it was like around my birthday. And, you know, through social media nowadays, you know, Facebook or whatever, we stayed in contact, got the numbers. So they was always good friends of mine. And they were having a party. And my man was like, yo, they ain't your birthday in March? I'm like, yeah. Like, yo, you should come home, man. And if you home, come to the party. You know, I got you. You know, that type of love. He was extending me his hand. So I was like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna come. And I went down, and, you know, I got to the party, and I looked at the party, and I was like, okay. You know, it was good to see all my friends. I mean, I was seeing people that I went to school with back from elementary and all that. So it was a good time. It was a good feeling. And then, you know, the next day, after the party, obviously I could just speed it up a little bit. The next day, we met up and we was talking. And, you know, I just was giving them his props on what they was doing. You know what I mean? And told them that was real nice. And then on a business side of it, you know, I kind of was looking at it like, man, you know, let me ask you a couple questions, because that looked like that was a little bit lucrative too, you know, to be honest. And they had a brand called Live Link Entertainment. You know, Live Link Entertainment. Some people that's watching, they may know. And I always want to throw that little shout out there and good looking for them, because without my peoples that I grew up with, I probably wouldn't even, like you said, I never thought I would be doing this. So I probably wouldn't be doing this at all. So I want to throw them a little bit of love for sure. And that's kind of, again, a part of my brand, the loyalty and the honesty and the respect I have for those guys. You know what I mean? But anyway, I came back and I knew a DJ who, you know, well, I knew a friend who knew a DJ who knew a club promoter, and the club promoter knew a bar owner, and then, you know, kind of got rolling from there. And as time moved on, I guess I would say I was doing showcases, like just local underground showcases for artists that, you know, weren't majors, you know, was a town that wasn't really active in that scene per se. You know, people used to have to travel 45 minutes, an hour away. So I tried to bring something closer. So I started doing that, underground shows, got with some guys. And then I guess to answer your question, celebrity wise, because we could talk about that more, I would say, and I mean, I would even have to look back at my resume, but my first one was like a Twister show where like I did security, you know what I mean? Where I was, you know, I've done stuff like that. Like, you know, I did a Twister show with security for him. And then moving on from there, getting into a venue, and then like, you know, having MGK come, like one of the earlier ones, and then, you know, being a driver for like, you know, the Migos or Boosie or something like that, you know what I mean? The slash security. So that's kind of how, for me, I got around the entertainment side of it. But so far as, you know, or industry side, meeting managers and things of that nature. But so far as you know, how it got started, that's pretty much where it was for me.
Isn't it amazing how it's like putting your big toe in the water, and then just a little bit more, and you're learning with each little step.
Well, you know what they say that is. That's either once you start putting that big toe in and you go in, it's either going to be sink or swim. So, you know, it's one of those things, right?
That's right. That's right. You have been doing this now for quite some time, and one thing led to another that led to another, and you said something about, but it goes. I can't say it verbatim, but it goes something like this: you knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm always saying that, especially now with the social media, you know,
Right.
you know somebody that knows somebody, they know somebody that knows somebody, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And with that, this door can open, this door over here can open, this door over here can open, and it all goes back to what we said. Everybody needs somebody sometime. So when you finally got your feet, I was going to say on the ground, but let's say when you finally got your feet all the way in the water,
could be fire too, but we don't, you know, still to be determined in certain cases. But go ahead, I'm listening.
What was the first major thing that you put together? We lost Derrick for a second here. Maybe he'll pop back on. You're right, Cassandra. It's not always what you know, it's who you know. Yeah. Come on back, Derrick. It's them gremlins that try to get through to the what do you call it, waves, the Wi-Fi waves, and all that. I think he'll be back. I'm hoping that he comes back. But anyhow, listen, come on in, folks. And if you're watching on YouTube, okay, went out. He'll probably be back in. If you're watching on YouTube, that subscribe thingy down below you, or it's somewhere down there, hit that subscribe button. And then that little bell, hit that bell, because every time we do a live or put up a video, you'll get notified that we did that. So, you know, if you're watching this on Facebook, like and follow our page. And I want to say this while we're Derrick's taking a little break. He'll be back, I hope. This is what I want you to know and understand. For the last probably 3.5 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, our radio show has been sporadic. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed. It's been sporadic. And it's been sporadic for this reason. We are working on a specific project. And we need a piece of the puzzle to make it, literally, to make it explode. We have found that piece of the puzzle. And tomorrow, we're going to step deep out into the waters and we are going to attempt. We had a hold of this thing once, but we could not try as hard as we wanted to. We could not. That's all right, Cassandra. uh, but we could not uh, get this thing to work properly. So today I had a long conversation with a dear, dear friend that uses the same type of software that we're looking at. And he walked me completely through it. And so I said all that to say this because we've been so sporadic the last several weeks with our radio shows, uh, it's because we are diligently seeking that piece of equipment that will make our radio station or our radio program come alive. I mean, really come alive. And by that, I mean this: we are going to have multiple, multiple, multiple shows on the George Espinlove show. We want to broadcast uh, uh, from morning till night, and eventually, we want to broadcast around the clock, 24/7. And that's what we're working on. So please hang in there with me on the radio side, and hopefully tomorrow we can get this thing up running and we'll be back on our feet. Hey, Derrick, you're back.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? I had to switch spots here.
That's all right. That's all right. I told people Derrick will be back. He's just taking a little break. Well,
Yeah, we had to come right back.
So, where were we? What was we talking about?
We were talking about just getting started with HLR and how that came about. And like I was saying, some friends of mine, and I went home and the first you asked me the first time I put something together major. And like I said, the first thing that I did major was with MGK at a spot called Chrome Nightclub at the time in West Virginia, which was one of like the biggest nightclubs in the area. And that was, one of my things that I was able to get in. I was able to get in on.
How hard, how difficult for for us people that have never ventured out to contact someone that has a revenue or that has a venue. How hard, how difficult? I imagine it could be quite trying sometimes to reach out to these people.
Definitely in the beginning, it was, and I can say that for anybody that's just trying to get started. Definitely in the beginning it was, but as you grow and you start to, like you said, everybody needs somebody, and as you start to meet people, now you start to get the actual information you need, and direction that you need at certain times, to be able to now contact people that you couldn't before, find out things that you couldn't before. So it's just kind of rigorously and diligently working, I guess. You know what I mean?
That word diligently, that's one of the key words. Diligently and persistent.
Right.
I imagine there were times that you just grabbed your head and said, "Man, I'm just banging it up against the wall." Were there times like that?
Times like that, and to be honest with you, still times like that. So, that as they say, especially because all in all, at the end of the day, it's for being an entrepreneur. So those things never stop. You always have those constant stresses and things of that nature. But and you bang your head every day. But hopefully, after a while of banging your head, you learn and start making the right choices and associating yourself with the right type of people, and being successful, could be right around the corner, just like, one shot away, as they say.
That's interesting that you would say that, Derek, because I have often thought throughout my life. There were times, honestly, there were times that I threw my hands up in the air and said, that's it, done, Winnie." You know what I mean?
Right.
And you start to walk in the opposite direction, and then sometimes after a few steps, sometimes after many steps, it dawns on you. Now, what if I throw my hands up in the air today, and the answer was coming tomorrow,
Right. Right.
or an hour from now?
Hmm.
Uh, and that's always kind of turned me around
Hmm.
and brought me back. Take a deep breath, focus, get a hold of myself, uh, thump myself on the head a few times, and say,
Right.
"Okay, let's hit this thing again." Uh,
Right.
I wonder, and we have no way of knowing, Derek, but I wonder how many people have given up or stopped chasing their dream or their passion just before the breakthrough came. Do you ever think of that?
Um, I think about it because I know there's been probably a million people to do so. Um, and I think about that and say, it's kind of like that picture where the guys in the cave and there's two guys in the cave and they digging in the cave and one drops drops his tool and starts walking back and he's like so close to cracking through the wall with diamonds, but he gave up. And then while the other guys like, so far away from it. So I definitely think about that. And, I'm not perfect. So at times I've thought about it because I've had things happen to me in the process of doing what I have been doing that had me like, man, you know what? I don't know. Like, should I do this anymore right now?
Mm.
Or should I do this anymore here? But one thing that wouldn't stop is just the passion to continue to do. So, and in that process, I guess more so trying to find my way of what was best for me and then continuing to work. But then you start to, and I coach a football team too, a little league football team. So I always try to apply some of those principles as well that I teach the kids, like just keep working, don't quit, and those things, because that's something that every day in life that everybody would need, you know what I mean? And I'm no different. So I try to think of the success stories as well too, but you know how that go.
That's right. And those little people, what's unique, Derek? I don't know if you ever thought about it, but when we put ourselves in position to be an example, right smack dab in front of people, like the little guys that's playing football, or even the bigger guys that's playing football, and they're looking to the coach. To them, uh, the coach is somebody, and rightfully so. And the coach teaches them not only by words but by his actions. And when we put ourselves in that position, that gives us a little more oomph. That when we have those down days, we think, well, wait a minute, I'm telling these guys back here, don't quit, don't give up, face it,
Right.
go through the obstacles. I better listen to what I'm saying to them, right?
Right. Right. I mean, I think with that though too, is you have to know you can never give up and not continue to fight. I mean, my aunt she actually passed away not too long ago, last year, and she used to say to me, uh, Derrick, you can always give out, but never give up. You know what I
Well,
mean? So it was one of those things like, I definitely think that if, being in those positions and having to be maybe a beacon of light for somebody else, you definitely have to stay strong through your weekdays for sure.
you can give out, but don't give up.
Right.
That was words of wisdom. That
Right.
that was, yeah, that was good. That was rich.
My mom gave me some jewels too when I was younger, but I don't, my mom always told me don't be a baby shit, man, excuse the language there. But and for that, to be honest with you, when she said that to me, I think that took me until I was about maybe in my early 20s to figure out exactly what she meant by that and put it together. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Right.
Sure.
But Mama always has a way of saying things that sticks with us
Right.
forever.
Right.
Bottom line, forever. Uh, what were some of the first? You mentioned your first gig was in West Virginia. I mean, your first big event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then what happened? What transpired after that?
Well, I understand, like at the time, just where I'm at, you know, in the area, because I'm like, Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia is all predominantly so close to where I was at, and part of like my region per se. Um, I was able to get a lot of relationships sparked and built because I was in an area that didn't have something and was trying to build it into something. So when I did that, I was meeting other people and then continuing to just put on those independent showcases as well from artists that was in this area. And then there's been some guys that are doing pretty successful right now, on many different levels, and some were younger or whatever the case may be, that all kind of have been a part of that for me in the early beginning. So continue to go from there with MGK. I mean, after that, it was a freeway artist. So it was so many different artists, and then now the ability to connect with bigger promoters than myself, managers, different guys that have more experience within the industry. I got with a couple guys, some guys from out of Cleveland, my man's that was out in Newcastle, they gave me a shot, so it was from there. So it kept just growing from there, but I kept doing the groundwork though. I kept putting in the legwork, whether it was I sold tickets. I was a one-man street team, a driver, security. Like I did so many different things. Coming out of my own pocket to put together the event, hiring the DJs, hiring the security, going in and talking to the club, trying to build a relationship. And at that time, just to, for me and my personal story, dealing with some of those earlier club owners that was like the toughest times I've had to date. But it also gave me the experience that I needed. And those were the days where you talked about earlier. I'll be like, man, I don't even know if is this worth it doing this anymore, because I have to deal with this. But for me, those club owners, they can still have their money, they can do whatever, but the integrity that they've lost and the fact that they're not doing anything, proves the point for me. So I'm good off that.
So you primarily took this thing from nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean you trudged through it, you worked through it, and step by step by step, and you were the chief bottle washer, the cook, you were
Oh man,
the babysitter, you were the whole 9 yards, right?
yes sir, yes sir.
Wow, wow. Uh, Honesty, loyalty, and respect. I like
Yes, sir.
I like that, Derek.
I appreciate it.
You're an agent, you're a promoter,
Mm-hmm.
you're an event planner,
Mm-hmm.
uh, plus a whole lot of other things. Uh,
Right, right.
man, uh, tell me what an agent does, Derek.
Well. With me, it's similar to anything. I like to pride myself on being able to connect people, right, and make things happen for people in different situations. So with me, with the agent that I am, I'm more of the bridge builder. So if you like how you have your show, whatever services you're looking for, and trying to broker the deal to get some things done. So that's kind of how I am. Talent agent. I look for different talent, that has potential to possibly help them. Sometimes people contact me and they're looking for talent. So, that's kind of what the agent is, agent Philly Dee right here for you.
You're an agent, a promoter.
Mhm.
Tell me what a promoter does.
Man, a promoter is if in the sense of promoter, that's booking shows, promoting shows, and events. And in my case, it was definitely heavy hip hop early on, for me. And and that's radio, whether it was radio, social media, flyers, whatever the case may be. Promote the show. Like you tell me George Espionage was having his podcast, and I go and promote that and let the people know. So that's what that is. Promoting positive. And as much as you can.
I was sitting here thinking while you was saying what the agent does and the promoter does, and then all the other things that you've done to get this thing circulate and get it moving. And I was thinking, Eric, what do you do in your spare time? I'm only kidding.
All right.
Here's something that I observed, and I've said this on the radio. I've said this on live stream for years and years and years now. I can hear your heartbeat, Derrick. Now, I found out a long time ago, and you and I talked somewhat about it off the air, but I found out a long time ago that you can talk to people. But I like to talk to people, and I not only hear them talk, but when I hear them talk, I hear their heart beating. If I can hear somebody, a man or a woman's heart beating when they're talking, I know that they are for real. Because when I hear a heartbeat coming from that person, I see a passion. I see like the old prophet who had a fire in his belly. And I don't care what you do, I don't care what's said, that fire's not going out, because that fire is a passion that makes that heartbeat that allows somebody out here to hear it. I hear your heartbeat, Derrick. Your mind, your body, and your soul is in this thing. It's all one and the same. And brother, I mean that. It's a compliment. When I can hear a man's heartbeat, I know that man is genuine.
Well, I appreciate that compliment. That definitely means a lot to me, and definitely sitting here, I know my heart is pounding, because every time, it's no different. Like, you put me on in front of a million people, and what I say or what I'm thinking, if I get a chance to tell somebody, I want them to understand, that I do care about what I'm doing. And to get to this point, I've learned, and I still have so much more to do and so much further to, so much more to learn, so much more levels to reach. So by no means, I guess what makes my heartbeat is just, trying to remain humble and understand that I'm not, where I want to be, because I don't have everything I need to have, whether that's knowledge or whatever the case may be. And then just trying to stay spiritually in tune too, and do things the right way, because it's not easy, not at all.
I see a man that doesn't have a big inflated ego, and I appreciate that. I have always told people, of course, I'm 71 now, but I've always told people, let your ego at the door, and then when you leave, don't stop and pick it up. Just kick it to the side and walk on by. Egos have destroyed more relationships than you can shake a stick at. I've got to be seen. I've got to be heard. I've got to be the big cheese. This, that, yeah, and all that involves having a big ego. I don't see a big inflated ego, and I don't hear of a big inflated ego when I talk to Derrick Davis. I see a very humble man that has scratched this thing out and
Scratching and surviving, baby. Scratching and surviving for sure.
That's it. Scratching, driving, cooking, doing whatever needs to be done,
right,
to put the next brick on top of the next brick to build this thing up. event planner. Tell me what an event planner does.
Well, as the common sense would say, I put on events. So whether it's birthday events, parties, whatever the case may be. Right now, my next event that I do have is I'm doing a Madden tournament March 7th. So that's coming up. So those type of events. I mean, if it's weddings, and I haven't done a whole lot in regards to corporate events yet, but that's what it entails, some corporate events, different things of that nature. So I'm working on doing more in the near future.
Birthday parties, you do those?
Yeah. I mean, right now, if somebody and I do whatever needs to be done. That's what I'm saying. Whatever it is need to be done. You can contact me, or that's kind of how I my approach is. The more services, the better. But especially when it comes down involving into entertainment, for sure. I mean, if you need a DJ, I get you a DJ booked. You need a flyer designed, for some graphic design work. You can get a graphic designer. If you're an artist, you need a video, get a videographer for you. So kinda, whatever you need.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, now listen to me. Whatever you need. And I can't say what Derrick just said verbatim, but whatever you need, that'll cover it. Whatever you need. Here's his email right here, hlr215.ent@gmail.com. Down here, run across a little ticker tape thingy, is his telephone number. Wow. It is awesome. What's some of the big names that you've done these things for?
I mean, big names, just big names that I've been around. I mean, the Migos, Dave East. I mean, it's I've been, Big Daddy Kane. I mean, those events. So, and I say that because for me, I put in a lot of work. So I don't want to sit here and talk to however many thousand or 100 people and make it seem like, I was the guy. Like I might have been the guy that had the, grab the shovel, you know what I'm saying? But I did a lot of work. So it's so many different things that I've been a part of, and more so what I'm looking to do in the future. That keeps me excited. And again, just sitting here, like, I've been a part of a couple of things, but that's, I'm so happy to have the people that I've been working with right now and that have been helping me. And, guys like that, like Claudio, Lee Davis, those guys that's been, helping me get to where I need to be at so that I can help somebody else. You know what I mean? I got several different producers that, I'm thinking of their names as we talk. And that's probably another reason why you can hear the heartbeat so much, just because I'm thinking about me and talking to you, but there's so many other people that have just helped me get to where I'm at now, because like I said, it's taken me the 10 years just to get here. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take for granted or portray something or someone I'm not, but what I do and what you can get from me is exactly what I say.
Wow. I like that. I love you, brother. I mean that.
Appreciate it. I wanted to tell you too. I appreciate you too, because one thing for certain, and two things for sure is anybody who has lived to see 71, 81, 91, I respect, just because I'm a young guy still and can only hope to get to that age and be able to have some knowledge, wisdom, and experience as well, with the understanding to talk to other people and help other people, because I try to do that with my coaching right now with kids, for all the years that I've been alive and things that I've been through, academic wise, athletic wise, try to help them. So, I definitely wanted to tell you I appreciate you for having me on, and thank you so much as well.
I appreciate that, brother. That's why my coffee cup, let me get it right here. I got to go right, left, right. That's why my coffee cup says I'm not old. I'm chronologically gifted.
I feel you. You know what I say about that though, and people always, as I get older now, I kind of say I'm like fine wine. I'm a certain type of vintage. You know what I mean? You gotta have a certain type of taste for me there.
I talked to a gentleman. In fact, I was talking to him when you had called me this evening. That's who I was on with, out of San Antonio, Texas. He's 78. uh, and I'm 71. And he, while we was talking, he said, "We are seasoned." And I said, I never heard it put like that. I said, that's a kind word. Uh, and it stuck with me. I said, "Do you mind if I use that word?" And he said, "No, you help yourself. You help yourself." So I'm seasoned. Uh, now, but yes, Cassandra said, and I put it up once, but yes, hear their heartbeat. That's what Cassandra said. That's our young lady down there in Arkansas. Hear their heartbeat.
How you doing?
It's so important. Cassandra said her grandmother will be 93 on Thursday. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, and
Wow.
and I've met her mom, uh,
Okay.
and her grandmother. I think her grandmother lives in Mississippi.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's still some of us out here still tripping around.
Wow.
We're making it. We're making it. So here is Eric or Derrick. He is an agent, a promoter, an event planner, and he does it all. And anything that you need, you call that number right there. We left it float across down there to give you plenty of time to write it down. Uh, write Derrick Davis, CEO, HLR, ENT, LLC booking, agent, promoter, event planner. And here is the email address. Excuse me. Here's the email address. What do you got going on now and into the future, Derrick?
Right now, coming up, like I said, the most recent thing that I have coming up, the plug is my Madden tournament that I'm doing in Duquesne, Pittsburgh, PA. I'm doing that March 7th. So I'm doing the Madden tournament. And I have some other showcases coming up. I'm working with some artists right now, some producers right now. Just trying to build something, continually trying to build something from the ground up for myself and keep working to get into to the next level. And then also here in the next maybe couple months to weeks, I'm looking at trying to start my own podcast as well too. So I'm still learning that game. I might have to call you up on that and get some of your knowledge, but it's what I'm working on as well too. So staying pretty busy, pretty active, as much as possible. And then there's a couple venues, and it all comes down to those meetings too, like waiting to have those meetings, put things together. So like right now, going forward, uh, it looks pretty good for the 2020. So you just got to keep working. Just got to keep working.
What's this gig look like? What's it consist of? The one in Duquesne that you're going to do?
Madden tournament. I'm gonna do a Madden tournament, an all age Madden tournament, from ages 13 and up. And then that'll be, then it'll be a nice setup. Well, like 4 TVs, 4 game stations going. About 40 to 50 guys, possibly. If once they registration is cut off, it's a nice venue, so guys will be able to come, have some food, play some games, listen to some music, things of that nature. It's a cash prize involved too, so it's not like you just come in to play for nothing. So it's a cash prize involved for the first, second, and third place winner. And that's kind of what we're doing. I had some guys even hit me and ask me, hey, can I perform at that event? Because like I said, I was really known for doing my own showcases, but I'm probably not going to do it at this one. But it gave me some ideas, so maybe later on down the line we'll do something like that. And then I'm in talks with some other people and trying to put some things together. So, in all reality, and I guess to tell you how I continue to scratch and scrape and put things together to keep working and building. In a perfect world, the whole year would be planned and booked out. But where you come from, how I come from, and what I'm doing, it's one event, maybe 2 events at a time, and try to make sure that I can actually do those as efficient and best way that I can, so I can continue to grow. So that's just how it is, and kind of if I keep shooting, they hit the target. You feel me? So that's what we're looking at right now.
That's right. That's right. That gig in Duquesne, is that one of them gaming events?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's right down the street from Kennywood. 1016 I don't even know the address right offhand. I had to think about it. I got the flyer and stuff like that. I mean, obviously I would want to post it up for you right now, but that'll be in March. So, if anybody actually get on my social media pages or can use the email for further details if they're interested in that, for sure.
Now, if they want to look you up on Facebook, Derrick, just Derrick Davis.
Yeah, if they want to look me up on Facebook, it's Derrick Davis. If you want to look me up on Twitter, it's D Philly Dee, and that's spelled DEEPHILLY, then DEE. And then if you want me on Instagram, that's my actual company, Honesty, Loyalty, Respect. So it's Honesty 3, Loyalty 3, and Respect.
Cool. Derrick, you're a fine gentleman.
Appreciate it.
I'm so glad that our paths have crossed.
Me too. Sure.
And I don't think that they just crossed. When they cross, they, uh, I think that, as we was talking off the air, I think this is going to be one of those things where we build a relationship and a friendship
Appreciate that.
over a long period of time.
Right.
Listen, my friend, you've got my phone number.
Yes, sir.
You've got my email address.
Yes, sir.
Facebook, blah blah blah, and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you need something, you holler at me.
Okay. I appreciate it.
You give me a holler. If I need something, remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you need something, graphics, videos, you want to schedule an event, this is the man to call right here. Derrick Davis out of Pittsburgh. And here is his email address. And his phone number is just continually floating across the bottom of our screen. My, oh, my. Derrick, here's what I want you to do, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to stay in touch.
I will.
I want you to come back again.
Okay.
And we'll just follow your journey as you just keep on going. We'll follow your journey. It's interesting when people start a journey or they're in the middle of a journey. Just goes, we shall share. We will put you out there. We shall spread the love.
I appreciate that. Cheryl West, I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know this young lady, and when she says that she will do these things, you bet your bottom dollar she'll do those things. So there's a lot of people behind you. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen. You can come to the George Espinlove Show page on Facebook, and you can watch this video over and over and over and over again. This is where the magic starts, Derrick, because when we get out of here, I'll find out how many people was viewing us both here and on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find that out. But then you watch the numbers grow because there's a lot of people that couldn't tune in at 8 o'clock and all those other things. And for days and days and days and days and days and days, people would just come back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor, start those watch parties, because when you start a watch party, that video goes out to your feed on your Facebook page, and that reaches people that we can't reach. So get that thing circulating, and we will be so appreciative of that. I know I will. I know Derrick will. Derrick, the best to you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
I trust and pray that God will keep you right in the center of his hand. And he'll lead you and guide you. And remember one thing, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Walk in those paths and everything will work out. Here's a young person that said, hardworking Philly Dee. Love it.
Shout out to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate all my people out there too. And if you're in Pittsburgh, just before we part, if you're in Pittsburgh and involved in any music, any kind of any genre of music, definitely contact me. See how we can work together. If I can help you, any club owners, any venue owners, anybody looking to, have any parties or events, definitely contact me, and we'd love to see how we can work together. Other business owners, entrepreneurs, the whole nine.
There's another young lady that I know out of Pittsburgh, Tanya Warner Phillips. She said, I'm from Pittsburgh. And then she said, I've been watching.
Appreciate you.
She's a wonderful, wonderful person. So people near, far, and wide, Derrick, are going to see this and hear this. We'll send it up on the radio tomorrow, and it'll reach out even further. iHeartRadio, Spotify, the networks, and so on and so forth. So
I had a couple of people tuning in on my live too on my Facebook over here, so I want to shout out them too. So make sure I give them a shout on my Facebook live. Thank you for tuning in, and then as well on your show. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. And like I said, we will be having you back. We're staying in touch. And listen, if you see Claudio before I talk to him, tell him I said hello.
I definitely will. I definitely will.
All right, old buddy. Thank you so very, very, very much.
Yep. You have a good night.
You too, Derrick.
All right. Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen. Whew. That was a treat. Listen, that is what it's all about. That's the stories behind the stories. That's the human interest things. I want to clue you in on Wednesday night. Tonight's Monday, right? Yeah. On Wednesday night, we will be doing a live stream with a gentleman in Argentina. He is an American. He was born in or near Detroit, and he has been in Argentina for quite some time. He is a writer. He will be with us on Wednesday night. Friday night, we will be having a young lady out of South Carolina, and Jane Jenkins. I always forget her last name. But nonetheless, Jane will be with us. She will make you laugh. I mean, she will crack you up on Friday night. A week from tonight, and we'll put all these things up on the show page. A week from tonight, this is what happens. We will be having a man by the name of Ivor Davis, who is an international reporter. He has been an international reporter for a long, 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 long time. In August of 1969, and I remember it vividly, there was a murder that took place in the state of California known as the Manson murders. Many folks know nothing about it, just for the simple fact they weren't born yet. But nonetheless, Charles Manson and his band of merry men and women, I called them, committed an awful atrocity in August of 1969. This man, Ivor Davis, was on the scene the morning that the bodies were discovered. And he reported on, wrote about the whole situation, the trial that lasted for almost a year, a little bit better than a year, turned into a joke, into a circus. His life was threatened, on and on and on and on. He wrote about it. He wrote a book. He reported about it. Not only that, he traveled with the Beatles. He was the Beatles, kind of like their own little reporter. He traveled with the Beatles. He was originally from England. He has just recently, in fact, it's on Amazon's bestseller. He has written the book, The Real Motives Behind the Manson Murders. Ivan Davis will be with us a week from tonight. It is a thrilling. It's going to be a thrilling show. It's going to be exciting. I'll guarantee you that it will have you sitting on the edge of your seat, reaching for your mouse or a clicker or something to get to Amazon and get that book. But look them up. Google Ivor, Ivor Davis, Davis. It tremendous, tremendous. Then we have a man coming on from Australia. So we're going to be in Argentina on Wednesday night. We're going to be in Australia. I think it's next Wednesday night. So we've got them lined up. We've got them lined up. And then, of course, my good friend Ed Temple will be doing our show each week on School Choice and pushing for that. So we have so much that we have going on. It just takes my breath away. We'll put the audio of this up on the radio tomorrow. And remember, as I was saying, we have been sporadic with our radio show per se, but we have found the missing point. We're working on it. I hope to have it up and running. We'll run some tests, hopefully tomorrow and Thursday. And then we can run program after program after program after program, nonstop. And trust me, there are a lot of programs that we are going to be running. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you, Derrick, for coming on the show. And remember, that's his phone number. If you need it, email me, GeorgeCE at Comcast.net. Okay. Let me see if I've got my own email address on here. I don't. I should. But email me, GeorgeCE at Comcast.net. I'll gladly give you Derrick's phone number, his email address, and the whole schmear, so you can reach out and get a hold of him. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate all your support, all your kind words. Thank you. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be running tests on the radio. So until the next time, this is me right here, live from the Funny Farm, thanking you and all of us here at the Funny Farm, thanking you for taking the time to be with us tonight. I trust that no matter what time it is and no matter where you are, whether it's down the street, around the corner, across America, or somewhere around this world, I trust that you'll have a good night or a good day. And I pray that God will keep you right in the center of his hand. Good night, everybody.